Oh, yeah, people are early.
Yeah.
Skeletor!
Hey everybody, it's 8 o'clock on a Friday night. That means it's time for solitary confinement, and it's time for the nightly howl. Howl with me.
Oh!
Okay, we did it.
That's enough of that.
That's enough of that.
That's enough.
Yeah. And yeah, I know the howl is supposed to be supporting all like the medical workers, awesome job medical workers, but mostly I'm just like going nuts inside my house. So that's why we all have our new fabulous backgrounds to signify where we would rather be. So James, where are you?
I'm on a secluded island with enough booze to keep me not thirsty.
Okay, so you're spending your solitary confinement on a solitary island.
Yeah, it helps with the whole social distancing to imagine it's a place I'd rather be than, the couch.
Yeah. Or the sunroom, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, whichever.
Oh, then we've got He-Man too. Ron, he's making you look bad.
I saw that James had a Skeletor one, so I didn't.
Yeah, no, I had to switch out the Skeletor for a second there.
Right.
I got He-Man with a rainbow.
I know, that's like quite a statement about He-Man there.
I think his
It's
clothes
not a
are quite
statement, as much more of a confirmation of fact.
Yeah, I mean his clothes are the statement. You know what I mean? Like,
that haircut is a fucking statement.
Yeah, he's got the same hairstyle as Dia.
Yeah, I'd rather be in He-Man's embrace right now. That's where I. Can you read my mind?
So for me, I think I'm wallowing in the midst of destruction right now because I'm hanging out with Godzilla.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's actually probably what I'm going to look like after 3 or 4 weeks without leaving the house and unlimited access to constant food. Yeah, that's pretty much the route I'm going down. But Dia, you look like you're ready for an adventure.
Hola, soy Dora. That's Spanish for let's go.
She disappeared in the grass.
That means be careful.
Now you don't have monkeys there though, do you?
No, but Swiper might show up.
So fair enough. Is that what you're calling your boyfriend now?
Yeah, I feel like she was excited about Swiper showing up. Like that looked like a really positive part of the evening right there.
Yeah, like the swiper no swiping thing sounds like part of a pre-negotiated kink thing at this point.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
Like you can swipe, it's full consensual swiping. Like swiping, if you need to swipe, like that's on you. And I'm
swipe
okay.
Right. There you go.
Swipe right.
You just remember you have to say it 3 times. Swiper no swiping. And then at the end you have to say, oh man.
Fair enough. Like, is that like the safe word? Oh man.
Oh man, that's what Swiper says. You tell him not to swipe, and he's, oh man.
Fair enough.
Like he didn't see it coming. Like he didn't see. He's like, we told you 3 times. Like what? It's like kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you very much for our audience that's joining us both here on our live broadcast and on YouTube Live. To give you an idea of some of the things we're going to be going into today, as well as our fabulous on location sets, is we're going to play a little game called 2 Facts and 1 Lie, where we're going to say 3 statements and y'all will have to guess which ones are true and which one's the lie. Then we're going to do a little bit of true confessions about, some of us might have been breaking quarantine. So I definitely have a story about that I want to share with you. But first, let's talk about some real news that you can use. So
the news now.
There we go. The newsy voice is even newsier than mine, Ron.
That is a newsy voice. It is a newsy voice for sure.
So I think we've gotten one of the most important messages come out of the White House this week. Trump is actually considering pardoning Joe Exotic, the Tiger King.
Really?
Yeah.
That's totally his speed, I'm telling you.
Yeah, look, we have a special guest behind James. It's Joe Exotic himself.
No, well, it's the best we could do with him being in prison and all.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to spend any time on a county jail phone line waiting to get a connection, you know.
Yeah. But this is true. This is totally true. It came out in, they were doing a White House, newsy thing like they normally do. I actually got this story not only from my morning news, but from the LA Times. So it's not fake news that they said he was kind of joking about it, that, yeah, maybe he would, look into pardoning Joe Exotic. But you know what? I think he's going to do it because let's face it, those two have like a lot in common. Number one, he's famous, and we know Trump totally respects people who are famous. And I don't think Trump does a whole lot of meth, but he might be a little bit of a predator.
Well, and we
I
did
said
find
it.
somebody with like the second worst haircut in the United States. So like, because Trump doesn't want to be beaten at anything. That's his worst haircut.
That's
so
right.
true.
That's right. Own your stuff.
I have to say, I found him kind of endearing. Like I saw the show this week, and like definitely like I made the mistake of watching it before I went to bed. And anytime someone would email me after I saw the show, I thought they were trying to kill me or get my money. But I don't know. I have to say, I found Joe kind of endearing. Like he just wants to put on a good show. He's looking for love. He's very lonely. You can't blame him for that.
Well,
Yeah, but you can't blame him for the math.
You guys,
And-
this is the reality of the quarantine. This is the worst part of this fucking thing is like the child going in and out. Okay, I've had meetings all week. She just comes in. She wants to sit here. Oh my God. I know
How
a lot
big
of
is your
people probably
apartment,
dealing with this, but,
Ron?
like, not in a comedy show,
yeah. How many square feet have you got there?
Oh, 3-4 inches. I'm sorry, that was a different question. Sorry. Yeah, no, I don't. There's no downtime. There's no like moment to catch your breath. Like I see all these people being like, "Oh, my plans for this weekend, like just getting rest." Like, fuck off. Like I haven't had rest since this thing started.
No, seriously, like how many square feet is your apartment? Like 700 square feet or something?
No, it's like 1,200.
Oh, that's not too bad.
But
We
how
got
many people?
24 over here, bitch. 2,400. We have got 5 bedrooms. We've got rooms we ain't even fucking using.
Hey, we're gonna move to Donna's house, babe. She's back at Ellie's back at the shore.
Yeah. Anyways, we also have some other news. James.
Well, apparently in Somalia, they are turning to Dr. Hyena to fight depression and mental illness, which is actually something that stems from a long-standing belief in the area that hyenas are able to ward off evil spirits that cause the symptoms of mental illness and depression. And really, I can see the allure to all of this because I mean, like, that's pretty much what going to a comedy club is go look at the chuckling hyena on the stage and feel better about yourself and then go home after, 5 drinks or whatever the minimum was. I can't really remember
5
wasn't the dog's name Mugsley on the Great Race? And wasn't he kind of like a hyena with this laugh? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Muttley.
Muttley.
Mhm.
He was like a hyena.
No, he was a dog. He was a total dog.
A mutt, specifically.
Yeah, but
So-
this is actually the picture that goes along with that story. And the thing that's kind of sad about this is it makes Joe Exotic's zoo look totally luxurious for the animals compared to
Right.
this poor hyena. Not to mention, like, that's like the worst waiting room, cast off plastic garden furniture that you have to sit there and
Looks
tell
like
your
there's
problems.
pieces of that chair on the ground around his feet.
I think it is.
Imagine Could you imagine what it looked like when they bought that chair? They were like, yeah, should I get the red or the blue? You know, I'm a blue kind of guy. We need something to pop to make the whole room come to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the other question too, it's like, all of our healthcare professionals have gone to telehealth. Are they offering telehealth appointments with the hyenas now?
I'd just take a telezoo at this point,
Mm,
Oh, fireworks, joy. That's perfect for recording.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the firecracker that is Ellie, the 4-year-old.
Oh.
She's
Yeah.
kind of like a bomb going off too.
Are you a firecracker?
And Dia, you got an interesting story this week too, right?
I did, because I'm everything about toilet paper. Apparently, Helsinki, Finland, they have toilet paper shortages just like us. So this bakery that was having trouble making money, nobody was coming, they decided to make toilet paper cakes. And they actually had to hire more people. So it was a boon to their business, these super cool toilet paper cakes. But I look at them and I just have more questions, like, what's inside? Is it red velvet or chocolate? Like, do we have to be worried about what we're seeing on the inside? Is it kind of like you wipe and look and,
Yeah, yeah.
health, anal health. But would you buy a toilet paper cake? Would that be a thing? Like, I'm breaking quarantine to go get me a toilet paper cake because I can't get the real thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll eat whatever. I mean, I'm a bachelor. Like if it's edible, it's going in my mouth.
What's your inside? Is it red velvet? Is it chocolate? Is it vanilla?
I'd probably go with the red velvet.
Yeah.
You know what's causing me a lot
Hopefully
of
not.
anxiety with this thing, with the toilet paper thing, and then even like a cake, like to your point, is it red inside or chocolate? I once heard a comic like years ago. He did a bit about, like, it was actually in Boulder. He did a bit about, he's like, how do blind people know? He's like, I never trusted a number. Work it
Okay.
out, Donna. Work it out. How do blind people know when they're done?
True.
You
I could
can't
ask my
feel
mom.
things, just because you're blind doesn't mean that you can't feel what your body's doing.
You go purely based on feeling, like you don't look to see when it's done.
Oh, like to inspect your work. Ah, I see what you mean. Is it trophy worthy?
No. It's wait. Sorry, we gotta work.
No,
this out.
he's
4 years.
asking, how do you know when you're done wiping or not?
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Because
at
he
4
has
years,
to
have I
do
been
this
doing
whole
wrong?
thing.
I think I taught my child wrong. Like,
when I first started wiping my butt by myself, but when I did not very like it when I wiped by myself, so I helped my dad and mom.
excuse me, mommy and daddy helped you. You didn't help them.
yeah. Be very clear about that statement, because we
So
do
why
not
they're-
want
I'm so
Child
funny.
Protective Services here. Yeah.
I love this.
Right?
This is my sidekick.
Oh, but
Yeah.
I think one of the most important parts of this story that we all missed is that this is in Finland. So it's not just crazy ass Americans buying up all the toilet paper. This is a global effect of the pandemic that everybody is buying up all the toilet paper. Right?
I guess we'll just have to figure out how to do the whole 3 seashells thing so that, like, it makes sense at this point.
Target. I was at Target this week and they had some.
The 3 seashells?
No, not the 3 seashells. Nothing. What's up with the 3 seashells? No, they had like toilet paper. They had like full on toilet paper. I felt good about life for a minute. And then I got scared that someone was going to breathe on me.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So that's all the news that we thought was newsworthy for this week. So let's dive into our fun little game of 2 facts and 1 lie. And whose is up first?
I guess I can start it off on things like
So everybody know how the game works? We all clear?
well, why don't you cover the rules for our audience there?
Well, this is Dia's game. Dia, tell us how this works.
Okay, you're gonna say 2 truths and one lie, and we all have to figure out which is the lie. And I would love if our audience would perhaps participate in this. And there's a chat button at the bottom, and you can chat out your vote as to which one is the lie. Our goal is to trick you. So let's see what happens.
All right. So number one, the first time I was on stage for a play was in 1987. Number two, I've been playing musical instruments since about 8 years old, with the piano to start off with. And lastly, I have worked as a special effects coordinator for film before.
And in case you forgot what James said, I'm writing it down right here. And then Dia wrote down the FX coordinator as well.
Yep.
So I can't vote because I know.
Yeah, like I can't hide anything from my mom. Like, first it was porn, now this. Like,
And that's
I
another
wrote down
story.
my vote.
Okay, Ron thinks it was the FX coordinator as well.
I
So,
just want everyone to know. I know.
roll. Which one's the lie, James?
the lie actually is the musical instruments at 8. Like, I've done special effects for film before. I was a makeup artist at a local costume shop here in Denver. But the musical instruments I didn't really start learning until I was like 10 or so, late bloomer.
Nice. That's how the game is played, James. Good job.
All right, Dia, you're up next.
Okay, 2 truths, 1 lie. Number 1, I don't have popcorn in my pantry. Number 2, I have 2 20-plus-pound frozen turkeys in my freezer. And number 3, I have to use a kitchen timer to remind myself to eat.
Hmm.
I'm going to go with number 1 as my vote.
Yeah, so you think she does not have popcorn. I think Dia does not use a kitchen timer. I think she eats all the time. Ron, what's your vote?
Yeah, I'm gonna say kitchen timer for sure. Yeah, she seems like a free spirit. I don't see her timing things. Maybe for something with Mark, where like when she jerks him with like her ankles.
I love that you're saying all this with your kid on your lap.
She'll learn it at school. She's publicly educated, right?
No. Private school. This much preciousness? No.
Oh, then she's going to learn much worse things.
And Mary from the audience is calling you out on the kitchen timer too.
Okay, do you want to know my lie?
Yeah.
My lie is that I have to use a kitchen timer to remind myself to eat. Bitch, please. I eat all the fucking time. I need a timer to tell myself to stop eating.
See, I thought it would have been the popcorn because, like, with the anosmia thing, that, you can't smell the best part of popcorn.
No,
which is the
the
hot
best
butter
part.
thing.
The best part of popcorn is eating the salty buttered popcorn.
Look, I'll take your word for it, but I mean, you're missing an entire half of popcorn.
It's not good.
Cool. And I'll go next. Then I'm kind of prepping and writing my stuff here in the comments. So for my 3 things, I have a complete collection of all the toys mint in the box that they made for Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Or I actually know who the father is of all 3 of my kids. Or I actually graduated high school early because I had a baby and I was married.
Am I
So
allowed to
those are my three
participate in
things.
this?
No, James, no.
James, you're not allowed to vote.
You do not have Deep Space Nine, Star Trek, all of it. You do not.
Yeah, just Star Wars. Yep, I concur.
What? Nobody's gonna doubt that I know who the father of my kids are. James might have doubted that, but no, I do know who your dad is, and it's the same guy for all three kids. So,
Which is the really surprising thing.
I know I won the slut trifecta.
Right.
Yeah, but it's true. Yeah, I don't have all of the Deep Space Nine toys. I do have some Star Trek, but it's mostly TNG, the Next Generation, because I do have it for like Picard, and Data for some weird ass reason that.
It is awesome. Brent Spiner, man, that guy should have been America's sweetheart.
Yeah, that was one of the saddest things about Starfest was getting canceled this season because Brent Spiner was coming out. That sounded
would've been
totally
awesome.
wrong, but he was going to be
Coming
a
out.
guest. He was going to be a guest.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I thought he was married. Like, but
Well,
like,
even
that
if it was
stopped
coming
him.
out, I would be okay with that because in my heart, I'm a transgender gay man. So that still works with the fantasy.
Hey, Donna, did you see Mary also guess Deep Space Nine?
Yeah. People called me out pretty early on that one. Yeah. Okay, Ron, you're the only one left.
Okay, all right. So two facts and a lie. Okay, so the first one is I have a Superman tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, don't you? See, it's okay. She's
He's
yanked.
gonna give it away.
Yeah.
Okay, so one truth, one lie.
Oh,
I guess that's
So
where
no,
we're
you
at.
gotta wait. You gotta wait. Okay, so sorry. Okay, take two. Here we go. So I have a picture of Batman on my wall. I took an amazing nap this week. And
No, you
I'm
didn't.
obsessed with Indian food.
What was the last one?
I'm obsessed with Indian food.
Indian food.
Oh, I know this. 100%.
You
I'm not
did
gonna
not
say it.
take
I'm gonna guess last because I know this 100%.
Yeah. I would guess that you did not get a nap either.
I did not get a nap.
it.
That would lie.
You
That
need
was the
help,
game.
Ron.
Lie.
Like, blink twice for yes.
Wait, can Ellie try one? Do you want to try one? This is terrible. We're like swearing up a storm, and she's like a person. Okay, tell us two, and we have to guess two things that are true and one thing that's a lie, and change it up so we. Okay, she's gonna tell a story, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
One time I was on the sidewalk running upstairs on the ramp, but then I slipped and fell and bumped my nose crack.
Stepped in what?
What'd you step in?
I slipped and then I scraped my nose so bad.
Oh,
Okay.
ouch.
So that's
That's-
one story.
And I
Never
cried
thought.
so bad.
And then what's another? Tell us another story.
The one time I had a bloody knee.
Okay. And
One
then,
time you had a bloody knee.
okay, and then a third one. So
One time I went to this candy store and had a lot of candy.
Oh,
which
my
one of
God.
those is the truth? Which one is a lie?
Ooh.
I think the first one was the lie because it had too many details.
Actually,
I think they
the
were all
lie
true.
was actually the candy one.
Why are you not taking your child to a candy store, Ron? What kind
Because
of
he
a
lives in
monster
Boulder
are
and he's a
you?
monster.
You know what? Because we have a lot of energy, and we don't need that crack. We don't need that. I don't need to get her started young. She agrees. I don't. Ellie's a good eater. But I do have to say, though, this is a big deal for her. So I want to give her a round of applause because the last show we all did together, and Ellie was a part of, on the drive home, I got an earful. She was yelling at me, "No, Dada, I thought you were going to bring me up on stage to tell stories."
And one time I yelled at the Indian food and they was like, no, that's
Yeah, we're at the Indian restaurant. She was like 2 years old. We're at the buffet, and the guy, poor guy, he thought I was done. He takes my plate away, and she started screaming her head off at him.
like, that's way.
All right, we're done.
All right. So I think, after we've been in quarantine for a few weeks now and it's starting to wear down on people, I will admit it. There's been times when I've gone out and broken quarantine. So, yeah, as a matter of fact, just even this week I did this. So, first and foremost, I got to explain, I've got asthma and it kind of developed into bronchitis this week. So I've been like not firing 100%. I do not have corona. I don't have any of the other symptoms. It's just all the, I like wheeze and stuff like this. So on Tuesday, our kitchen sink exploded. Like literally the faucet thing went pshoo, and we had a fountain of water. So we had to order a new one at Lowe's, but because I have the Lowe's credit card, I had to go in person to go pick it up. And then while we were out, it's like, oh, let's hit Sam's because we finally have gotten through all of our stockpile of meat in the extra freezer, right? So we get the thing, we're wearing our masks, me and Ryan go, and Ryan actually clocked out so that he could go run this errand at work, which is like, okay, he's like Mr. Serious and Mr. Responsible, so he doesn't ever do that. So we get into Sam's and he starts going like hell's fire all the way towards the back, towards the meat. And he's like slowly pulling away from me. And I'm like, Ryan, you got to slow down. I can't breathe. And he's all like, well, you wanted to go to the store with me. And I'm like, please, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And it's like, I could just imagine what this was going to turn into, where he keeps pulling away and I just kind of collapse into an asthmatic heap right there in the middle of Sam's, just, and it'd be like basically somebody dropping a zombie bomb into a populated area and everybody would run screaming out of Sam's. But they didn't. Ryan just got grumpy with me, but that's why I had to go break quarantine this week, to go terrify people at Sam's Club with my asthmatic wheezing.
I'm glad you brought this up because this brings up an opportunity to talk about this. I think Ryan's real issue is Achilles' heel, if you will, is that he cares too much.
Yeah.
I think
he's married to me. That would make anybody grumpy.
I don't know. I find you very suitable.
Very suitable? What is she, a pair of sneakers?
Yeah. You're a good fit.
A button-down blouse. She's suitable.
At 50, that's the best you can get.
No, but you're so amenable. We were in a situation a few months ago where a car literally came into your office, like crashed into your office, and you had these really expensive Star Wars posters. And I go, Donna, let me go in there. And you're like, no, it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like you were like totally even keel about it. There was no issue. So I can't. No, I'm not taking I don't think that you're the problem. I'm not saying he's a problem. I'm saying he's got a big heart. I'm saying you're even keel. You're just staring at me now. I don't know if she's gonna punch me virtually in the nuts or just move on. I don't know.
Same. This is why
just come cough on your doorknob.
Yeah, Ryan is the grumpy Hulk.
That's the meanest thing you could do to someone right now is cough on their doorbell. On their doorknob.
Germ warfare.
Yeah, germ warfare. So Ron, my bet was that you have not even broken quarantine. Is that true or not?
I mean, wait, you said Ron?
Yeah.
How do you define quarantine?
Like leaving your house.
The first 2 weeks we didn't I would go out to get groceries or something, like the hunter and gatherer that I am, and I'd wear a hazmat suit. And I was in heaven. I was in heaven wearing gloves and a mask. Like, finally, it's my time. The chickens are coming home to roost.
Yeah, and also you can't breathe in our mask.
Yeah, so we were mask now. So we're in an apartment complex. So we're on the 4th floor. So this past week we made a point of going out to ride Ellie's bike and stuff.
And I went today for a race, but I'm gonna have my favorite tomorrow. It's gonna be carrot cake cupcake, and that's my favorite cake in the whole world.
Favorite cake in the whole world. She's gonna have it tomorrow because we won a race today. She won a race. But yeah, so we I did that, but I mean it's an ordeal. You know, it's like a 3-hour. Actually, this is not funny at all. Like it's like a 3-hour ordeal to go to the grocery store. So like it's just funny. Like I'm never taking that for granted again. Like next time when this thing's lifted, like I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna move into Whole Foods. Like I used to complain about like the thing that scared me was going to Whole Foods and them talking to me. Like I used to have an issue about that where they'd be like, "Oh, sweet potato fries. What are you gonna do with those, bro?" I was gonna eat them. Now I'm like, yeah, now it's like a whole process. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, people are just like standing out of the way. I complimented a guy on the way that he ran out of the way when I came in this week. So yeah, like a very, very tense situation. I can't wait to go back and fear someone talking to me, not in a Corona way.
Right, right. And Dia, you took like an adventure. Was that yesterday?
Yes, I had the worst adventure yesterday. I decided to break quarantine and be athletic and go take a walk in the beautiful, isolated wilderness. And the thing to know about the story about me is I don't like snakes at all. And there's a history with me and snakes. So when my daughter was little, like a few months old, I took her on a walk in her stroller, and we were almost done with a really long walk, and in front of the stroller, a snake came across the path. And I'm a new mom, and there's nothing more fierce than a new mom. And my reaction to this snake threatening my brand new baby child was to push the stroller towards the snake as I ran the other way.
Good instincts.
So that's how much I don't like snakes. Okay, that's your history. So I went out into the wilderness to go on a nature walk with Mark. And as soon as we started on this deserted path, we took 4 steps in, and I always look down when I walk in the wilderness. I saw a big, fat, coiled snake, and my butt clenched and my stomach squeezed, and I froze. And Mark said he knew exactly that something was really wrong. And I just went, "Snake," and I backpedaled the fuck out of there. And it was this huge coiling, like an arrowhead and rattle happening. It was like, holy shit, that's a sign from God. Don't break quarantine. Get back in the house. No workout for you. So I came home.
That's a pretty intense one there.
And that was around Passover too, right?
Oh, yes.
That was a plague.
Well, you know, in my house, when we celebrate Easter, because we're like pagans, we believe in the Easter snake, because actually that's a very pagan thing. And it's like, and the Easter spider too, because they like lay eggs, and that's when they start to hatch, it's in the spring. But you know, snakes hibernate. Poor Dia, I'm sorry, but
killing me.
So that's like literally one of the spring celebrations, is when the snakes come out of hibernation and you see them crawling around. So like the Easter snake, we could even call him the Passover snake for you.
No, no.
Why are you saying no? That's so nice. Finally, someone accommodates for the Jews.
I gotta show you this now.
We have to accommodate for Christmas all the time. Finally, Donna's letting us, like, she's giving us nachas.
Look at this. This is the best Easter basket Ryan ever found for me a few years ago. It's a green, so the green screen doesn't want to show. It's an Easter snake.
No. Fuck no.
Dia, you look like you could use a rescue from all this snake talk here. There it is.
Look how cute that is. It's adorable.
He has a rattle. But that's totally inaccurate. Green snakes do not have rattles.
No one cares.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
But James, you've been breaking quarantine like every other day.
That is a true fact. I've often broken quarantine because I just need, beer or smokes or, something to occupy my goddamn mind while I'm going stir crazy here in the house. Hey, I've been looking at that online. Okay, like
People doing that,
a fleshlight, by the way, is like $70, and that's ridiculous.
Just
But
buy them on
anywho.
sale, have coupons.
wait,
but-
why is that ridiculous? I think that's perfectly reasonably priced. If you think about like paying for others, I can't say paying for other things.
See, this is why I don't have
Look
kids.
at you on the bridge.
But see, I would also break quarantine for a goddamn Klondike bar at this point.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
That was really well played, James. Like that was really good writing. The answer is break quarantine.
Yep.
I would do anything for a Deanna Troy fleshlight right now. Tonight.
Donna, do they make those? Is that a thing?
I don't know if they're specific to actual people. It's not like
Yes,
porn stars who
you
all
can
sit
get your
for a
favorite star.
Like from Star Trek?
Like 7 and
Um,
9?
That was an option.
Yeah, it's fully functional and anatomically correct.
Yep.
Wait, why
All
are you
right,
doing the
everybody.
bridge?
We are coming up to the end of our time for this week. So next week, we're going to do some exploration into the #WithMe movement. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's like if you go, if you go and check out like on YouTube, there's a lot of things like cook with me or do yoga with me and stuff like that. And people make some videos. So we're going to have some options for things that we are going to invite people to do with us. We're going to be looking for more of that news that you can use. And I think that's pretty much it. Anything else from all of you guys before we sign off for the night?
My butt's itchy.
I did not need to know that.
I have a koala. That's all.
That's not a nice thing to call your kid.
My Dora has evolved and I'm from the Bronx and I'm gonna tell you just, whatever, I don't care. But if you're not gonna look out, don't look out. But whatever, cuidado.
How did that happen? How did Dora change like that?
She grew up. She
Adulting.
saw some reality.
Well, I was going to say liberal immigration laws.
That took me a second. But it took
Okay,
that
yeah,
long.
all right. No, I need to shut up before I get in worse trouble. So I'm not going to tell y'all to stay safe. I'm going to tell y'all to try to stay sane, and we shall see you next week.
Wait, are you gonna say a Picard thing though? Say something Picard-esque.
Oh,
like-
make it so.
So what?
Number
Exactly.
1.